Bonjour et bienvenue à Gourmet, the channel where I cook my way through all the cookbooks I own and have never used. We are still working with Mastering the Art of French Cooking by Julia Child, where we'll be making Boeuf Mode En Gelée, which is basically braised beef in aspic. And if you don't know, aspic is kind of like a meat jelly. We're going to take some of the braising liquid, we're going to take some stock, we're going to add gelatin to it, and put the beef inside with vegetables, mold it in jelly, and set it. It doesn't sound like the flavor is going to be bad, but I am worried about a temperature and texture thing. But I had to do it. Aspics are mentioned multiple times in this book, so we have to try one, right? So to start, we're going to kind of deviate from the recipe a little bit, mostly because I don't think what I'm planning to mold this in is going to take all of the beef, and I am planning on kind of having some of the beef for dinner because I'm not really planning on necessarily enjoying this recipe. Hopefully I'm proven wrong, but I don't know. But we're just going to start with braised beef. And we're kind of following the recipe for braised beef in the book, kind of not. I'm going to start with a bunch of butter in my pan. Wipe off my hands because now they're all buttery. And we're going to add mushrooms, carrots, and onions to this. Saute them, and then we're just going to add just a round eye roast. The recipe calls for about 5 pounds. This is just over 3, but it'll do the trick. We're going to start getting these guys cooked. I've just got a bunch of butter in there. I didn't measure it. I took what was left from my stick of butter and just dumped it in. And there's our onions. I'm going to go ahead. These are just white, pre-washed, clean mushrooms. I'm going to throw those in. Maybe we'll just do 1 box of mushrooms, 1 onion, and then the remainder of my carrot sticks that I just have not been eating, like I told myself I was going to. There's some garlic. Before the burner gets too hot, let's clean that up. Oh boy, we're making a mess. And then I'm just going to salt and pepper. Okay, so our meat's in here. I'm going to go ahead, put some salt on top. I'm going to go ahead, put some pepper. Then I am going to, oops, I hit the counter. This is just beef broth that I'm using. So I'm going to go ahead and pour in some beef broth. Just kind of all the way around. Okay, so that's probably just under or just over half of this box. And then what I have to the side, I'm going to pour in to finish it off, is a small bottle of red wine. I'll show you guys in a second. So this is a Shiraz. Can you see it? I guess maybe that's better. I guess point taken. I tried some off camera. It's a good red wine. Really, where I got it from was a wine advent calendar a couple years ago that my parents gave me. I'm going to add in a bay leaf. I'm going to add in some parsley. And then I'm going to finish with, you guessed it, some thyme. I figure if I'm not following a recipe, I might as well take inspiration from the book, you know? Now what I'm going to do is cover this and cook this in the oven for about 3 hours or so and hope that it's finished. Okay, so we've just taken the meat out of the oven. It's been just about 2 hours. It smells delicious. It looks delectable. What I'm going to do is I'm going to take out the meat and sit it on this cutting board so that we can use it later. So now I have this slotted spoon. I'm going to go ahead and try to get out as much of the vegetables as I can because we're supposed to reduce this stock and like our braising liquid. There we go. We're supposed to reduce the braising liquid a little bit before we add in some more stock and gelatin to make our aspic. Yeah, we'll see. It's going to be interesting. But this smells absolutely delicious. So, like I kind of thought, I think the flavor of this is probably going to be good. I think it's I think it's a texture and temperature thing because you're supposed to eat it cold, and this is going to be like jellied stock. I don't know. I'm just not looking forward to that aspect of it. But and then what I'm thinking I might do is actually kind of strain this a little bit to see if we can't get all of the stuff out. I'm seeing, some of the bits of garlic and stuff floating on top. So I might get a strainer and try to strain this into a new bowl. I think that's the point we're at because I just don't think the spoon's doing it anymore. So I guess I'll set this back there. The spoon. I have this ready to go just in case. I'm gonna get out my strainer, put on my oven mitts, and hope that I don't make an absolute mess right now. And let's pour. Okay. That was honestly more successful than I thought it was going to be. Okay, so I tried skimming off some of the fat from our liquid. I didn't succeed. I stopped. I don't care anymore. But what we need now is 3 cups of stock. So I'm just going to go ahead and measure out 3 cups of beef stock. These are the sheets of gelatin I'm using. It's a Perfecta gel, the platinum level. I just got these off Amazon, honestly. This is what they look like. They're just very thin sheets. I'm sure you've seen people or at least heard people use them. What we're going to do is we're going to soften them in our stock while we boil this down a little bit more. I've been reading the cookbook, and I have to say I'm a little confused. But it says 2 sheets equals 1 1 envelope of gelatin, and we're supposed to use 2 envelopes. So it should be 4, but I'm going to have to double check because now I think that I might misremember. Sorry, 4 sheets are the equivalent of 1 envelope. Okay, that's what it was. 4 sheets are 1 envelope. So we'll use 8 sheets. And you can see they're just so super thin. But we're just kind of soaking them in the stock. 3. And of course they're so thin and they all stick together. 4. 5. 6. Uh-oh. 7 and 8. Okay, I'm going to put these guys away. Now we are going to turn our burner on high and just start boiling all of this. I'm going to get my cup out of the way. I'm still a little apprehensive about this one, honestly. I just don't understand how it's going to be to taste, to eat. I think the taste will be good. I think the eating's going to be the problem. But, oh well. I'm going to take my spoon and just kind of dip these guys in. They've definitely already softened, so that's interesting. They're like dissolving. And this isn't even like hot liquid, so that's probably a good sign. And we'll get this nice and heated. And then once this is reduced a little bit, I don't think we have to reduce it a lot, honestly. We're going to pour in the gelatin sheets. Okay, so we've reduced our liquid a little bit. Probably we've been boiling for oh gosh, 5-6 minutes or so. So I think we've reduced it quite a bit. I'm going to go ahead and dump in our gelatin sheets with our stock. Oops. And I guess I'm going to make a giant mess while I do that. Go ahead and give this a stir. Basically, we're just trying to melt all of the gelatin, you know, just like when you make a jello, because we've all made jello before. Let's see, it looks like we still have a little bit of gelatin in this bowl. Let's get that out. Okay, I'm just stirring this. And it doesn't say to bring this to a boil, so we're not going to bring it to a boil. You can see I didn't get all the fat off, like I said before. I got some more. As it was boiling, I went ahead and got some more off, but not a lot. And this didn't say to clarify the stock at all or anything like that. So I just went ahead and didn't do that. There is a recipe in here to clarify the stock. So it's definitely something you can do. But this recipe specifically called for cold brown stock or canned consomme. So I didn't have consomme, but I have stock. And it feels like all the gelatin has melted. I don't feel any left. So I think we're good to go. Okay, so we'll get on with the next step. So our next step is to add, you can see all the fat on top. I don't know what to do about that. It's going to stay there. Is to adjust the seasoning, which I'm not sure we have that much to adjust, but we'll try it. I mean, it tastes like beef. I might add a little bit more pepper. I think that will be good. It's got enough salt, I think, but I think it could use a little bit more pepper. So we're going to go ahead and stir that in. Just with every stir, I'm just trying to double check that the gelatin has in fact dissolved all the way, and it feels like it has. And we'll just go ahead and that tastes better. Okay, so now we add a 1/4 cup of port or brandy. Now I don't have port, I don't have brandy, but I do have Madeira, which in the other recipes has been a substitute for port. So that's what I'm gonna do. But we are gonna pour in a 1/4 cup of port, aka Madeira. We are going to stir that in. And what's odd is I'm going to turn our burner off, but what we need to do is strain this liquid again. I don't know why. But I'm going to go ahead and strain it back into this bowl. And then we can start constructing our aspic. And I guess our meat gelée, but hey. Okay, so I just watched this. Let me go ahead and strain this. Okay, I guess it was a good thing we strained because we still had some stuff left. Okay, so here we are. Now it's assembly time. Basically, we're doing a slice of meat, vegetables, meat, vegetables, meat, vegetables, all the way down. Um, yeah, so this should be it. We're just gonna go for it. There's our beef. I'm gonna give our vegetables a stir just because we have some garlic and stuff up top. Then I'm just gonna go in here. Another slice of meat. Some more vegetable. I know this isn't the necessarily correct pan to be doing this in, but oh, that is too tall. Okay, I'll cut that one in half too. But it's really all I have. I could have probably used like my bunt pan that I have, but I'm not trying to make like a lot of this. Let's be honest. This is. I'm not trying to sit here and be like, yes, yum. I'm gonna eat this for days. I'm not sure I'm gonna like this. So that's where we are with it. But there was no way we couldn't do it. So we'll just leave that one there. And then a little more mushroom and get a carrot. It's not pretty either, but it is what it is. And then we're going to end with this guy. Okay, so we have everything layered, I'm going to say. I'm going to wipe my hands off real quick. And then we're just, honestly, I'm just going to spoon the liquid over top. That's what we're going to do, our jellied, hopefully jellied liquid. I'll do one more for good measure. Try to cover as much as we can, but I also don't want to like overfill the pan. Okay. So there we go. Yeah, this is gonna sit probably overnight, honestly. It says 4 to 6 hours in the book, but I think I'm gonna give it extra time. Plus 6 hours from now is like 10 o'clock at night. So I don't really want to eat this at 10 o'clock. So yeah, I'm gonna let this sit overnight in the fridge, and we'll come back tomorrow with results. Hope. So it's been just about 24 hours. I left it in the fridge and then didn't want to try this for breakfast. So our aspic's been sitting all that time in the fridge. But this is what it looks like. Obviously you can see the fat on the top, so that's not as appealing as it might be otherwise. But like I said, I couldn't have been bothered to scrape it all off. So what I'm going to do now is soak this in some hot water and try to loosen the sides, and then we'll just plop it out on a plate. That sounds so gross, but we're going to try. It does smell good, admittedly, but yeah, I think this is just going to be a weird one. We'll see. So we've had utter disaster. I dropped it. I was loosening it, and yeah, I dropped the entire aspic. So you can see, so really what held together is where all the meat is. I can't believe this happened. I'm actually sad about this because I wanted it to look at least somewhat nice. And here's our mess. Just a jiggly mess. I can't believe that happened. I guess I'm going to take a bite, and then who knows even what the thumbnail or the picture's going to look like. I dropped it in the sink. Like, I can't believe that. At least the sink was clean. It could be worse. I can't believe I dropped it. I'm so mad at myself. It's not like I'm going to make another one. Can you imagine if I went through all that just to make another one of something I don't even think I'm going to like? But I will give this a try. Okay, well, here's our bite. If you can kind of see, I've got everything on it. I guess just let's give it a go. It is exactly what I thought. I don't like that it's cold necessarily, but it's a texture. It's that meat jelly is awful. Um, and I don't know if you're supposed to, like, how much. I am assuming I'm supposed to eat it, right? I can't stand it. I'm happy I have leftovers. I am thinking about reheating this and just taking out the individual items and then putting them aside. Although I dropped it in the sink, so I don't know. I might just throw it away. Um, yeah, that's interesting. I can't believe people used to eat this. It really wasn't hard to make. It was easy to make. The ingredients were mostly easy to. Well, the ingredients were easy to find. I had to go out of my way to get gelatin sheets, but that's okay. I guess I could have used powdered gelatin, but I thought that the sheets would be better. And they did a great job. I totally messed it up taking it out of the mold. So that's on me. I can't fault it for that. That's definitely user error. And something I'll only do once because I'm not making another one of these. But yeah, I really don't think it was that hard. It wasn't, like I said, ingredients easy to find. The recipe was pretty easy to follow. I know we kind of did our own thing, but yeah, it's a no for me. I think I'm really struggling because it's not like it tastes bad, but it's truly a texture temperature thing for me. It's oh, I might give it a 5 just solely because I hated eating the jelly part so much. And I think if it was sweet, I would have been able to wrap my mind around it. But because it's savory, it's like just congealed sauce that like I would want warm. It's like a congealed gravy that you wouldn't want to eat cold and hard almost. Yeah, I think maybe a 5, maybe a 6. We're torn. Admittedly, this one's probably going to be the one that's like I really don't know what to rate it because I really don't like it, but it kind of has everything. Like it wasn't hard or anything, so I think we'll just go with a 5. Make it a middle of the road. Um, yeah, I won't be making this again. I'm sad that I dropped it, but what can you do? I'll see you guys on the next one. Bye.